Right now, in at least a dozen countries, artificial intelligence systems are being integrated into weapons platforms that can identify, track, and engage targets without direct human intervention. The age of the autonomous weapon has arrived, and no international agreement exists to regulate it. The United Nations has been debating a treaty on lethal autonomous weapons for over a decade. The discussions have produced thousands of pages of reports, dozens of expert panels, and 0 binding agreements. Meanwhile, the technology has advanced from theoretical possibility to operational reality deployed in active conflict zones. In 2020, a United Nations report described an incident in Libya that sent shockwaves through the international community. A Turkish-made autonomous drone, the Kargu 2, allegedly attacked retreating soldiers without human authorization. If confirmed, this would represent the first known case of an autonomous weapon system killing human beings without a direct human command. The Kargu 2 is a quadcopter about the size of a briefcase. It carries an explosive payload and uses computer vision to identify and classify targets. The manufacturer, STM, claims the system has a human in the loop who must authorize engagements. The UN report suggests that in practice, the human is often not meaningfully in the loop. Lethal autonomous weapons raise a fundamental moral question that humanity has never had to answer before. Can a machine be trusted to make life and death decisions? Not in the abstract, in the specific context of a battlefield where milliseconds determine outcomes, where the machine can process sensor data faster than any human, where the fog of war clouds human judgment as much as machine judgment. The proponents of autonomous weapons make a surprising and uncomfortable argument. They claim that autonomous weapons could actually be more ethical than human soldiers. Machines do not get angry. They do not seek revenge. They do not panic under fire. They do not rape, loot, or commit war crimes out of rage or fear. An autonomous weapon could be programmed to follow the laws of war more consistently than any human. An autonomous weapon could be required to positively identify a target as a legitimate military objective before engaging. It could be programmed with stricter rules of engagement than any human soldier would accept. It could record every decision, every sensor input, every engagement for after-action review. The accountability and transparency could exceed anything possible with human soldiers. The counter-argument is equally powerful and equally uncomfortable. Autonomous weapons cannot exercise genuine judgment. They cannot understand context in any meaningful sense. They cannot distinguish between a farmer carrying a rifle for self-defense and a soldier carrying a rifle for combat. They cannot recognize surrender. They cannot show mercy. They cannot be held accountable in any way that matters. The technology is not hypothetical. Israel Harpy and Harop drones are loitering munitions that can autonomously search for and destroy enemy radar systems. The United States Navy Locust system enables unmanned surface vessels to operate autonomously for extended missions. China is developing swarms of autonomous drones that can coordinate attacks without direct human control. Russia has deployed autonomous sentry guns at its military bases. South Korea has deployed autonomous sentry guns along the demilitarized zone. The United Kingdom, France, Australia, and India are all developing autonomous military systems. The technology is being deployed faster than the diplomacy can catch up. The arms race dynamic is particularly dangerous and self-reinforcing. If country A deploys autonomous weapons, country B must either respond with comparable capability or accept a strategic disadvantage. Country B response then drives country C to act. The result is a classic security dilemma, but with technology that can initiate lethal action without direct human authorization. The risk of accidental escalation is severe and largely unappreciated. If two autonomous systems engage each other, whether in the air, at sea, or in cyberspace, a conflict could escalate from first contact to full engagement in seconds, far faster than any human decision-maker could intervene. We could have a war that nobody declared, fought by machines that nobody directly controls. In 2018, thousands of Google employees signed a letter protesting the company involvement in Project Maven, a United States Department of Defense program that used AI to analyze drone surveillance footage. Google did not renew the contract. It was a rare moment of tech worker resistance against military AI applications, but other companies quickly filled the gap. Amazon, Microsoft, Palantir, and dozens of defense-focused startups now compete for military AI contracts. The defense AI market is projected to grow to over $30 billion annually by 2030. The economic incentives to develop and deploy autonomous weapons are enormous and growing. The campaign to ban lethal autonomous weapons has gathered significant support. Over 30 countries have called for a preemptive ban. The Campaign to Stop Killer Robots, a coalition of non-governmental organizations, has been advocating for an international treaty since 2013. But the countries developing the technology have blocked meaningful progress. The challenge of verification represents a fundamental obstacle to any arms control treaty. How do you verify that a country is not developing autonomous weapons? The same AI technology that enables autonomous weapons is also used for entirely civilian applications. Computer vision, autonomous navigation, decision algorithms. The dual-use nature of artificial intelligence makes arms control verification extremely difficult. There is a specific nightmare scenario that keeps defense analysts awake at night. A non-state actor acquires autonomous weapon capability. A terrorist group deploys a swarm of cheap, commercially available autonomous drones against a civilian target. The technology to build such a weapon is increasingly accessible. The barrier to entry is falling every year. The response to such an attack would be complicated in ways that defense planners are only beginning to consider. If a swarm of 50 autonomous drones attacks a city, the defense systems would need to be autonomous too. Human operators cannot track and engage dozens of fast-moving targets simultaneously. The defense against autonomous weapons may require deploying autonomous weapons. The principle of meaningful human control has emerged as the central ethical concept in the debate over autonomous weapons. The idea is that an autonomous weapon should not be able to engage a target without meaningful human decision-making at some point in the process. But defining what counts as meaningful human control in practice has proven to be extraordinarily difficult. Is a human commander who approves a list of potential targets that an autonomous system then selects from and engages exercising meaningful control? Is a human who authorizes a geographic mission area within which autonomous systems can operate exercising meaningful control? Is a human who can abort a mission but not direct it exercising meaningful control? The boundary keeps shifting. The most likely outcome of the current trajectory is not a comprehensive international ban, which appears politically impossible, nor unrestricted deployment, which faces significant opposition. The most likely outcome is a messy middle ground where some autonomous weapons are deployed, some limited restrictions are agreed upon, and the technology continues to advance faster than the regulatory framework. This is the pattern we have observed with every previous transformative military technology. Crossbows were banned by the Pope. Submarines were proposed for prohibition. Poison gas was outlawed after World War I, yet chemical weapons continue to be used. The record of arms control is mixed at best, and autonomous weapons present challenges that are qualitatively different from any previous military technology. If you want to stay informed about the most consequential developments in artificial intelligence, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. We cover the stories that actually matter for the future of humanity. Next week, we are investigating something completely different but equally important. Artificial intelligence is being used to provide mental health support to millions of people who cannot access human therapists. The results are genuinely surprising. In the comments, I want to hear from you. Should autonomous weapons be banned preemptively, or should they be developed with appropriate safeguards and human control? Where do you draw the line? This is not an academic question anymore. It is happening right now. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, and I will see you in the next one.